Hello, fabulous people. This is the Together podcast, and this is the place where Cherise and I come together to help you get it together for your everyday business life. So we hope you enjoy.
All right, but now we are recording. Happy New Year. Today is January 9th of 2024.
Already.
Happy New Year. I'm so glad to be here. I'm so excited for so many things. So I didn't get everything done like I wanted to over the Christmas break because I was moving, and I just forgot how much time moving takes.
Yeah.
But I had been in my office 10 years.
Yes.
And 10 years worth of stuff. Oh, I didn't remember I had this. Okay, if you don't remember you had it, throw it away.
I know.
Stuff like that. But it was just this like, oh, and now we got to do this. And the movers are coming on this day. So it wind up, what I thought I was going to have a lot of time off is all of the time off went to either moving or packing or getting ready for the movers or something like that. So I'm so happy to be in 2024, but I feel like it started without me. So I got some of my goals written, but not all of my goals written and everything. And so it feels like I'm executing on the fly.
Yeah.
And so I'm really hopeful that I can catch up like in these little pockets of time. So I just figured out that's what I need to do yesterday. Okay, you can't, because I'm looking for this big pocket of time, like 2-3 hours to sit down and get it done. It's not going to happen. So I'm going to have to put it down and get it done in 20 minutes at a time when I got 20 minutes. So how are you? How was your Christmas, your New Year, everything?
Everything was amazing and chill, which is what I wanted. A little bit of chaos with clients, it's that season. So people need to be beautiful. They need to be feeling good. So of course I have to be of service. So, but I love that. But on the actual holidays, because the way it fell, on Monday, I was able to be quiet on a Monday, which is supposed to be my day off, which is good. So really take some time off and get my mind right. Mostly for me, it was get my mind right. And January, I don't try to put a lot of pressure on myself in January because I think it's the time to prepare. I think it's time to, get your mind right instead of trying to jump in and, I got to get it right before January. December was great preparation for me. I did a 21-day challenge. It was really amazing.
Oh, wow. And, what challenge did you do?
I did an Activate Your Abundance challenge that I will be doing quarterly. That was my accountability as far as follow-up for my event. Gotcha. So, I had it, the continuity for my ladies, and it was absolutely amazing. I can't wait to share more with you about it. So really, I'm taking a breather in January, getting ready to still working, but just preparing instead of putting a lot of pressure on myself, getting that calendar, like for the first time, I believe ever, I have my calendar built out as far as events for the year, and it has been so much clarity for me. And of course that is work, because now you have to put the execution to everything. But just having it, is so helpful because I've been winging it for so long. You think you have a plan and you really don't.
Right. And so that was important for me too. I haven't gotten all my events calendared, but I got probably at least 75% of my events calendared. So I could really look at, okay, when will I be at a conference? Okay, when will I be home to do an event? When will I be vacationing and working? So I'm really excited about getting my calendar done. And with that is what I want to talk about today is making sure that we're delegating in 2024 and making sure that we're taking time to delegate.
Yes.
So what happens to me, and it may not happen to y'all, but what happens to me is I'll be like, okay, so-and-so needs to do this, but I never sit down and write out the instructions, or I never schedule a call with them to give them instructions. And so then it doesn't get done. And
Yeah.
then just seems like life just happens, and then there's another project that didn't get done, or I haven't done it yet, or okay, I'll do it myself because I never did sit down and write out the instructions. And so I'm really wanting people, and that's one of the things that I teach in my coaching program, is to make sure that time is in your schedule to delegate. And really thinking about who do I need to put in place and what information I need to give them by when. And so, for example, you said you have your event scheduled out. So if you're doing an event in December, great, wonderful, excited about that. Who are the people you need to get that event executed? And when do you need to let them know? And so, and how do you want to get that information to them? And so one of the things that I think I'm working on is a standard either email for myself, or like a standard email template, or maybe even a form, and I'll probably give it to my coaching clients as well, to where it's real easy for you to delegate or figure out what you need to delegate. So event, who do you need in place? Like who do I need a marketer in place? Do I need an event host, a producer, an event producer? Do I just need a tech guy, a web guy? Like who do you need in place? And then what's the instructions to each of them? You know, and also making sure that we're giving instructions, and I have to do some more studying on this myself, but giving instructions in a way so that they are clear on what the outcome and the expectation is, but we're hands off enough so that they have the freedom to just get it done. So, because we will kill ourselves trying to micromanage in their field and area of expertise. So now we saying craziness, and they looking at us like we crazy because we trying to micromanage on something we don't even know about. You know, well, I think it should go like this. Okay, you gonna delegate it, and with that, I think also learning how to hire people who can execute and who can get it done. And putting that in your hiring process. So I've noticed when I've really thought about hiring process, and I've hired people in the hiring process, has been, let me make sure this person can deliver what I need them to deliver. I'm having a much better outcome with those people than people that I hired because either they were nice, or because I knew them, or because they seemed nice. And so then just because they seem nice and we have a good rapport doesn't mean they can execute on that technical thing that I need them to execute on. And so, and I think that's I don't know, how do I say this well? I think one of the things with social media is everybody can look great. With a little bit of work or no work at all, everybody can and look great. So therefore, if you're going to hire people, you really have to make sure that you have a hiring process that forces you to actually look at their work and look at their deliverables, and then so that you can give them a project and have them bring you back what you need. So, okay, I think I said so much in there. So
you did. You said that was impactful. It was so impactful. And I hope that you all are hearing this, because I think it is the year of execution, and I don't think you need to be executing everything.
No, you literally will not have the time to execute everything that I'm going to make it big that God has for you to do in 2024. Like you are going to have to delegate to get it all done.
And it is the year of abundance. So you think it was big before? It's like all the dreams, all the things you ever wanted, like they right here right now. And all you have to do is delegate and get things done to have what you really truly say that you want. And I'm excited about that, because I realized throughout the year, this year, since we have been doing the podcast, I think we've spoken on every aspect. That's why I'm super excited about this season, and you know, expounding on everything we've already touched on. This delegation thing, you got to get it. You got to get it, or you will stay a one-woman show. Like that one-woman show, the CEO this year.
Preach that.
Man, when I tell you it's the abundance, you will not get your abundance if you stay a one-woman show.
That's true. That's true.
Period.
Because the thing is, you cannot have expertise in everything that you need to do that you are going to do. I didn't say that well. So I remember when I was in one of my coaching programs or something, they were saying to run a business well, it's about 17 hats you need to wear. You cannot wear all those 17 hats at a level of excellence. So you need to pass it off. And I know many times as an entrepreneur, especially last year, which I'm not going to do this year, I was like on my prayer list was, okay, which thing do I learn? Do I learn more marketing? Do I learn how to put culture together? Do I learn how to do this? And none of that is my key area of expertise of counseling. It's all of these other things. And so one of the things that I walked out of 2023 with and into 2024 with is I've got to hire and delegate. I've got to hire and delegate and understand that if I hire well, that person, that's their area of expertise. Like no longer should I be trying to figure out how to put up a website. No. I don't have the time to do it anymore. And it only take me to sit down and just figure out how to come up with the money. With the money, pay to get it done, have it done in a week. Preach, girl. Okay, I'm gonna let you loose.
CEO, that is your responsibility. Fundraising.
Yes.
Fundraising. When I went, and it was years ago, I went to study. A mentor of mine told me, hey, you need to go study what a CEO is. And I still wasn't there. I did the study and I was like, okay, but I was too engulfed in operating my business and being in it, which is the whole, behind the chair thing, which is like, I'm like, oh, when that stuff started clicking, like, oh, I got it. I'm the visionary. I have to make sure that this thing is funded so I can hire, so I can continue to invest in the things that I need to know and my team. So it takes time, but you're sowing seeds when you get certain information. And then sometimes you just got to sit it, let it do what it does, and then, come back to it. But you have the information. That years ago, when I read that information, I started to understand that, the CEO is a fundraiser. CEO isn't necessarily even the decision maker.
Ooh, okay. You're right.
It's deep. It's deep. You hire decision makers. Oh my God. You have to have people that you trust that are decision makers for you because you don't have time to go over here making certain decisions. I don't care what color it is. You know what color the brand is. Blah, blah, I don't care what time. Just tell me what time to show up. Is the schedule, is it, can I fit it in my schedule? You tell me. So, but that's that whole CEO mentality and execution. And it didn't start, I honest to God, did not start hearing it correctly until last year. But you know what happened? An identity shift happened over the last few years.
Oh, say that. Oh, say that. Like, say that more. Okay.
The whole identity shift, I started to be, that's why you got to trust your journey and your process. You can't get discouraged.
Whatever you're going you got to pray. I'll say more on that. Trust your journey and process. Say more on that. Because I think, like me specifically, I'm like, I should have been there. I should have did this. Oh my God, that's just coming back up for me. That was on my list 5 years ago, and I got it done and executed yet. Like, I can't believe. Yeah. And so what do you mean by trust your journey and trust your process? Because I feel like my journey is slow. My process is behind.
It's not slow. It's frustrating because we think we want microwave. And one of the things that I remember someone telling me a long time ago, it's going to take you 5-7 years. I'm like, no, it's not. I was so used to, in the mindset I was in, I'm used to making fast money, right? Hair, beauty, all this stuff. I get paid on spot every single day, every time I render a service, right? So, oh gosh, just a couple of things in here I can't wait to share. So, one was, why would it take so long? But that was a short-term mentality I had. That was a kind of low vibration mentality because, I make a lot of money as a hairstylist, but it's just a whole lot more money out there, right? That you can make in a totally different way when you start to become a leader and a teacher and a coach, right?
Mm-hmm.
But my mentality was, ain't no way I gotta wait because I make money fast. And, I deliver my service, I make my money. That's the mentality. As I went through that journey, certain things, and I started to continue to educate myself on certain things, marketing or, how to become a leader, things like that. I'm like, oh, why didn't this happen? I thought this was going to happen so fast, so quick. Then went into struggle mode in business. And I'm like, well, why didn't this happen? And that happened because, you 7 years into the journey and you tried to take the shortcuts because of your mentality. Mm-hmm. And you're still taking as long as you were advised that it was going to take, or longer anyway, because of your mindset. Yeah. Right? You're thinking everything is fast. Yeah. And it's not. Yeah. It's not. It takes this long.
Right. I think one of the things that I learned probably a couple of years ago, so usually when I want to take on something new, I read a couple of books about it. And one of the things with taking on this podcast, as I read, is, and it was more than one book that said this, so at least 2 to 3 books said, it's going to take you 3 years before your podcast takes off. Like 3 years. And I don't think I even believed it in the first book. Like, they don't know what they're talking about. And then you read it in the second book. Okay. And the third book, okay, it's going to take 3 years. And so when you have that information and it's going to take me this long, then that helps you be okay with the seeding process and the planting process, because you're not expecting a harvest. Like if you know that you're not supposed to plant until March, what's Good Friday, they usually plant on, but your harvest isn't going to be the June 1st, you can be cool from March until June.
Yeah, you can.
But if you're thinking immediately, if I plant this seed today, I'm supposed to have a harvest tomorrow, your feelings going to get hurt every time. And so definitely, I think, thank you about that, of being patient with the process, and then understanding that execution takes time. And make sure you're doing the things to execute. Like, right. Planning in vain or not planting.
Yes, exactly. And I think something that we didn't get until more recent is building community. You know how long it takes to build relationship and community. Another thing for me, Natalie, and listen, guys, I know you can relate to this. I was operating out of so much desperation. I taught this so deep and strong in my challenge. You can manifest. There's a few ways you can manifest. And most times you are manifesting out of desperation, right? I need, Lord, please.
Right.
Because you're always manifesting.
Yes.
Always manifesting, no matter what. But immature manifesting is, oh, please. And you get it and you create it. But you operated out of so much desperation, you don't know how you got it.
Oh. Gotcha.
You created no system, no methodology out of it.
Yeah.
Great lesson out of how I could make money. I knew I was a money maker. If I say, hey, I'm having a special, boom, 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 all kind of money come in out of desperation. And then what? If you're in desperation, meaning you need money, right?
Yeah.
When that lump sum of money comes in, it's gone.
Yeah.
And then there's no system to create it again. And guess where you are?
Yeah. Back at ground zero.
In desperation.
Yep. Or negative. Back in the negative.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And after running business, for so long in that manner, or just, being above water, it's like, that's not going to get it. That's stressful. That's too much, and realizing like, oh, this is a process. After so long, after 10, 15 years in business, oh, this is a process.
Yeah.
This is. Now, I'm going to tell you what kind of got us, though. Social media came along, and then we started getting tricked into all this fast,
Yeah.
We, and everyone sells. Oh, you can do it in this time and that time, and you can have this and you can have that, and boom, here we go. Again, forgetting who we are in our systems and who we are really. How do we do this? Rubbing elbows, getting out, networking, talking to people, hitting the streets. That's how we build business.
Yeah.
And we forgot.
And it takes time. So I think because, and I see the social media things too, like gain 1,000 followers in 2 seconds. Okay, that is a way. I won't knock their way. But what's your sustainable system? And so as opposed to how do I gain 1,000 followers in 2 seconds? How do I consistently gain 100 followers every single month? And so when you take a step back and you're not operating out of desperation and you coming back to, okay, let me manifest consistently. I think just even talking about it, that feels differently. It feels like, what do I have to consistently do and put in place so that I consistently manifest this month after month after month after month after month,
Yeah. And even numbers, like something you just said. How do I gain 100 quality followers a month? Okay. I can get 1,000, but how many of them are quality? I'd rather slow move my way to 100 quality people who are tapped into my information and my message, who would come into my funnel, who would come into my world and really be interested in what I have and invest with me, become collaborators with me, partners with me, a part of my ecosystem and community. Like that was such an amazing aha for me when I realized that's the way it needed. I want quality over quantity.
Yes. And I think I was all about quantity for a while. And then I heard this one coach, I can't even think of her name right now. DL Sharon, I think is her name. And she was saying you can have a full coaching program with only 300 Instagram followers. And I was like, wait, what? Say more. And so I've been listening to her, and it makes sense. Like how many people you're trying to have in your coaching program, depending on the price point, and everything. And you really need, I think, a good group coaching program, let's say 10 people.
Yeah.
You only need 10 people to say yes, 10 people to be like, man, I really like what you're saying and what you're doing. That's all. That's all. And so if we start thinking like that, how do I get quality and how do I get quality consistently? So how do I build a system that's going to work, that's going to keep me working? And so y'all been seeing my stuff on social media?
Yes, girl. I've been seeing you.
That is my social media hire. And I love this girl. Yeah, I love this girl. And what I love about her is, because social media is her expertise and it is so not mine, he tells me what to do. So back around to that CEO that you were talking about, the CEO just need to show up and I just need to do it when they tell me to. Like she tells me what to do. So that little Christmas post that I was like, look at me with the stockings and that's because she told me to. Like I would not have done it without her. And so she told me to do a lot more, but that's what I actually executed and got done. But it's so nice having somebody saying, okay, you need to figure out how to do this in the next week. Oh, okay. Okay. And so that's the system that's working. Okay. Oh, girl, revelate.
So she's the CEO of that space.
Oh, yes.
Give her they need incentives and they need a role, like, hey, I need you to be the CEO of my social media.
Yeah.
This is what that means. I need you to blah, blah, blah. Yeah. And that just hit me. So when you give them their role, but give them some significance, like you're not just my assistant.
Right.
This is a significant role that you're playing here, because if I didn't have you, I wouldn't be showing up and able to do what I do in my expertise, and give what I give the way I need to give it. Because I'm over here concerned about, something I don't need to be concerned about. That was good.
Right. Oh my God.
Huge revelation.
Yeah. And I think that goes, she's actually where I started on thinking today, because I need her to do this podcast. I need her to do some other things. Yeah. And I literally just need to take the time to sit down to write it out so I can delegate it. And so right now, she hadn't started a podcast yet. Not because she's not doing it, because I'm not doing it. Because I have not sat down to write out, okay, this is what we want to happen. This is how we want it promoted. This is everything and that. So I'm wanting everybody, as I'm learning these lessons, to make sure you're learning these lessons, that it needs to be in your schedule, how you're going to sit down and write out what you need to your people to do. Like, when you go sit down and think about it. And so it goes back to that concept of you saying behind the chair is I can't just be working on the business and doing the work. I also got to be thinking about how the work gets done. So it's that higher level of thinking and bringing up from doing the work to how the work gets done and who's going to do the work and really making those decisions. But we got to pull up and pull out. Like, we've got to
pull up and pull out. That's good.
To be able to do that thing. And you can't do it if you run. Like, you know, and so if you just waking up in the morning just so you can get to that first client to do that thing that you got to do, and then finish figuring out how to do this on the break and do this and do this and do that, and then fall into bed at night, there's no thinking time in there. There's no quiet time in there. There's no way or path that you're making for yourself to get to the next level. You keeping yourself in hustle and grind mode. Y'all, one of the things that I'm talking about this year, and I took this from somebody else, but I don't know who I took it from. So, person out there, if I took it from you, I'm so sorry. I just can't remember your name. But they had this term, grind differently. And I was like, oh, say that again.
Okay.
Because I think, you know, there's a part of us that love to grind. Like, we, you know, we like doing the work, and we like being busy, and we like, you know, saying, hey, I accomplished all of these things. But I think we get to a point of, if we're going to get to that next level that we want to be at, we got to grind differently.
I agree.
Different. It's got to be, I'm no longer grinding for the sake of grinding to say I did this. I'm thinking about how I grind, so I grind effectively and efficiently, and I put all of the things in place to really get to where I want to go.
I love that. And hey, you all, don't think I'm distracted. I be taking notes from my girl. Like, she be spitting so much game. I be having to take notes, like, right in the moment. So just know.
This is so all
I hope y'all taking notes too. I hope y'all taking notes, because this be good right here.
Yeah.
So there's a book that I started listening to, Nat, called Who Not How.
Yes, I listened to
about that book.
Yes, I listened to it over the holidays.
Oh, alignment, girl. We aligned.
So that's Dan Sullivan's work, and I love his work because let me tell y'all about Dan Sullivan. Why I love his work. Okay, so first of all, what I have noticed personally, professionally, especially with my African American females, we work, and we work hard, and we'll work and run ourselves into the ground. And so there's a couple of things that I feel like drive that. One, we have a internal sense of pressure. I got to get it all done right now. I got to get it all done right now, yesterday, and I'm a failure until I get it done. Also, we move the goalpost on ourselves. And so we'll accomplish something, and then we'll poo-poo that away because we set a next goal. And so we keep ourselves in this kind of constant grind. So one of the things that I wanted to, part of the reason my coaching program is around is to help that girl with that mentality and that thing to get her to the next level. And so one of the things that thing I noticed, so in my coaching program, I really teach people to lay their life out to age 100. So if you can lay it out to an age 100, then you can take your 30s and just raise your kids. And you can take your 40s and really working and building that business to $1 million. And then you can take your 50s and concentrate on giving, philanthropy, travel, whatever, and you can lay it out. So, because what happens is I'll have a person in front of me. This is the way it really happened, y'all. She in front of me with her husband saying, we don't have sex. And I'm looking at her and she looks run down. She looks tired. And she's like, I got 5 kids under 5. I'm trying to start my business. I'm trying to finish my PhD program. And I got a full-time job.
Yeah.
When do you sleep, baby? Like,
yeah.
when?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so you're doing too much. You're doing
Yeah.
too much. And so I usually wind up telling her sometimes is I believe you can do every damn thing you want to, but you cannot do it all at the same damn time. We gotta spread it out. And so I'm really wanting people to look at their lives and spread it out and say, okay, what am I going to focus on this decade? What am I focused on the next decade? What am I going to want to do? Because when you spread it out, then that's going to alleviate some of the pressure. Okay. If you got 5 kids under 5, you need to focus on 5 kids under 5.
Absolutely.
You ain't got no more energy after that. Like just stop. And so stop beating yourself up for, but I didn't create $1 million and I didn't do this. No, you took care of your 5 kids under 5. Now, when you get all of them in school, then we can talk about, okay, now what do you want to focus on? You know, and it might need to be self-care and returning back to yourself.
It might be because your calling might be raising them kids.
Right.
You might need a reality show.
Right. And so
like,
let's figure it out as opposed to I need to do all of the things right now. And so when I heard Dan Sullivan speak, by way of YouTube videos and his books.
Right.
It's one of the things that he talked about is breaking things down. His words and the way he says it is he wants his people to break things down for 100 quarters. And he said takes the next 25 years, break each year into 4 quarters, and think about what you're going to accomplish over the 100 quarters. And I was like, you the same concept is we don't have to do it all right now. So based on that, I was like, oh, I'm aligning with this coach. And so I'm already aligning with him because he does, I think, 2 or 3 money-making days. And then I think 2 or 3 like preparation days. And I don't have those ratios right. Actually, I think he might do 2 money-making days and 3 preparation days.
Okay.
Yeah, because he's all about balance and growth. And so I like him because, I love Gary V. I love Gary V. Do not get it twisted. Grant Cardone, not so much, but I respect Grant Cardone. I respect his game. But they are, I know more about Gary V than I know Grant Cardone. So let me say that because I've read like a Gary V books and listened to him a lot. So Gary V is like work. Do it. You need to be posting 16 times a day. Like do it more, do it all the time. Like you need to be constantly grinding. Okay. Gary V has a wife and his wife does majority of the child raising. And so he can be at work for 16 hours and just grind it out and do it. And he set his life up like that. A lot of us African-American females don't have that capability, luxury, support system, or anything. We can't just be at work for 16 hours grinding it out. And I really believe it's too hard on us. Like I think, and so I think, yes, we need to grind, but we've got to grind differently. So y'all are listening to Gary V and the Grant Cardones and everything. Take what they say with a grain of salt and apply what you can to that into your life. But you can't, please don't take their whole mentality of just Grant Cardone is do whatever you do 10 times more. Just do it 10x, just 10x it. If you're sending out 100 emails, you need to start sending out 1,000 emails. If you're talking to 5 people, you need to be talking to 50 people. So that is a good strategy if you have that time. But I've noticed a lot of my female clients don't. Because they got a husband that they need to take care of, usually when they show up in the office. They have kids. They have aging parents.
So many things.
Right? And so, Arlise, hey, if you out there, I'm going to talk about you for a minute. But I know, like, my friend Arlise, her mom lives in New York. And so we can be on a call, and I've heard her say, okay, hold on, I need to order my mom's Uber so she can make it to the doctor. And so that's what I've noticed with women is we can't just disconnect from our families and keep it moving.
Right.
And I've seen men do that. And so I've seen them in therapy. I've dealt with them in relationships. They go to work and they shut off. Like you don't, a couple of men I've dated, I just know, okay, he at work, he's not going to show back up and respond to a text message until after work.
I know.
And women just don't have that ability. We don't even have that mindset to, I can't just go to work and shut off for 16 hours and then show back up. I'm not going to have a life. And so parents have to be checked on. Medicine's got to be ordered. Doctor's appointments need to be made. Like there are all these things that need to be done where we can't just work straight. And so, dang, I said a lot. I went on a whole tangent.
No, that's what we're here for.
Bringing it back in is, y'all, women, we've got to grind in a way that works and support our lives. And so we need to make sure that we're taking quiet time to delegate everything that needs to be delegated, that we get off our plates. We are working and grinding in a way that works for our lives, that we're going after quality, not quantity. So that we can do everything and accomplish everything that the Grant Cardone does and the Gary Vee does, but in a way that doesn't kill us. It doesn't kill us. And so one of the reasons I'm really aligning with Dan Sullivan right now, because Dan Sullivan coaches with a lot more balance. And so he's like, you're going to work hard, but you're going to make sure you spend time with your family and that you rest and that you recuperate. And so one of his books that Cherise and I, it's so funny. Did I tell you about that book or you just started reading it?
No, I just started reading it. I'm trying to figure out who I was listening to that mentioned it, like who, not how. I was like, ooh, and it just resonated so much.
Man,
so, no,
that's
that was
so
just
amazing. Like, oh my God, that's so good. It just gives me chill bumps.
I know. Just alignment.
Just alignment. So his book, Who Not How, is really about getting the people in place to execute and get it done. And so if you're thinking about how do I get this done, you're thinking the wrong thing. At this point, you need to be thinking, who do I need to hire to get this done? And so like it's still on my prayer list, y'all, from last year of me saying, okay, Lord, what do I study? Do I study the Kartra and figure out how to do Kartra, or do I study something else I was trying to study? I have to find my prayer book so I can tell y'all. But anyway, and it's right there, so clear. And so that book really gave me the freedom to say, that ain't even the prayer I need to be praying. The prayer is, who I need to hire to execute Kartra like I needed to execute. Who do I need to hire to execute this website like I need to execute? And what money and how do I need to get this money in place for them? And so that book, oh my God, that book freed me up. It was one story in that book about the guy who didn't spend $7,000 on the air conditioner and wound up spending like 2 to 3 months in the hospital.
Yes, girl.
Yeah, it's a story in the book. Where a man has the money to get his air conditioning fixed, but chose not to spend that money and try to do it himself. Climbed up on the roof because that's where the unit was, wound up falling off the roof, was hurt terribly, and spent like 3 months in the hospital recovering from that, as opposed to paying the people to get it done and have it done and be done. And and if y'all haven't had somebody come in and do something in 2 seconds, what you've been trying to do for the last 2 months, it is such a humbling experience. So one of my girlfriends, she has a story that they were trying to do something with a light fixture, and they had got up there and tried it like, a couple of weeks, and then finally, man, let's just hire an electrician. The electrician came in, did it in 10 minutes, got down and apologized that it took him so long. Like it took you so long. We've been trying to, and so that's the power of hiring an expert. And so it is expert, like sit down and figure out who you need to hire and hire them. Like what needs to be executed in your life, what's not getting done. If you got to figure out how do I need to get this done, the next question is, okay, not how, who not how, who.
And then I think to complement that, Nat, going away from that mentality of I don't have it.
Right.
That lack mentality of I don't have it, I can't afford.
Right.
Figure it out.
Figure it out.
Make enough money.
Yeah.
Make more money. I remember adopting that a long time ago because I figured out that, whoa, the only answer is to make more money. And you can be creative all you want to. You can cut corners all you want to, but 9 times out of 10, it doesn't work out. And then being in the image business, I started to understand early, like, oh, I can't really, that's the part of the business I can't bootleg. Gotcha. Like, I can't look a certain way and not be it. I have to be what I am, and I remember when I didn't have the high level clients. I did not have, luxury experiences, but I was dealing on image in a certain space, right? And the thing is, I might have dressed a little better than my clients. I might have known a little more than my clients, which that made my way at the time, right? But I'm realizing like there are things that I can't shortcut.
Yeah.
In this industry.
Yes.
And I'm like, oh, so if I got to wear the same quality suit over and over and over, it's better that I wear that same quality suit and learn how to be creative with it than going and buying a bunch of cheap suits, because these women with these good jobs looking at me like, ooh, baby, that's a cheap little suit you got on. How you going to help me? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it's just that in my industry, that's just what it is. So it had to become quality over quantity for me in this business. And then I learned that across everything, quality over quantity.
And one of the other things I want to pivot a little bit and talk about is with that also goes mindset on what you can afford and can't afford.
Yeah.
And so I will say, and because I catch myself doing this, right? There's a concert I want to go see. Oh, I can afford that. No, I can afford that.
I deserve it. I
deserve it. I'm gonna get it. And then 2 seconds later, oh, I need to hire this website designer. Oh, I can't afford that. So even I be looking at myself like, wait, what? Like, it's your mentality. And so you're going to figure out how to go to the concert. Oh, I can afford that. We're going to figure out how I'm going to afford that. And with joy and glee. Because when I'm thinking about, oh, I got to spend money on business and I need it to make money, I don't know if I can afford that. Really? Right. I know. Let's see. If I go to this concert and then I pay for the food, when I get to the concert, we talking probably a good $250 altogether. Not too expensive, but not too bad. You can get a website made by somebody in Indonesia for $250, I guarantee. Same money. It's just different mentality. And so I'm going to implore everybody out there to really think about your mentality. When those words come out your mouth or just rise up in your spirit, oh, I can't afford that. Really? But just is that your mentality around business things? What you can and can't afford. Not this is what I got and I'm gonna figure out how to make it happen. Or what do I have to do? Or can I piecemeal it and get it done? And because there's some areas, oh, I afford it in a minute, So tell me I can't afford my next Amazon order. Don't do that. It's not gonna happen. Right. Even if I gotta put it in the cart and wait for a week, I'm gonna get what I want.
Yes.
And so making sure we have that same mentality with our businesses and we're not just, oh, I can't afford that and keeping it moving. Like, because I think that's going to keep us stagnated and keep us from growing. So,
all right. I got a question for you.
Yes. I hope I got an answer.
You have an answer. Natalie, what is it that you are absolutely obsessed with when it comes to your building your community, empowering your clients and your community? What is it that you are obsessed with?
What's coming
helping them do
in my spirit, heart, mind, and soul, which is one of the same reasons I'm a therapist, is I don't want you to feel alone.
Good.
I don't want you to feel alone. And when I think about that, thinking about when I was at University of Georgia and I was flunking out or something happened. I can't even remember what, but I just remember I was riding on the bus crying and I was alone in this thing and I couldn't figure it out. And just that feeling of being alone and that and there's nobody to help you to figure it out. And so that's what I'm passionate about. That's what I'm passionate about as a sex therapist, because those sexual secrets, those sexual things, we don't know who to talk to out loud about that. And so people are just struggling silently and alone. And so I feel so bad sometimes when I have a couple, they'll finally come in like 5, 6, 7, 10 years later. Oh my God, we could have fixed this 28 years ago. A long time ago, had you just found me and known. And I think the same thing with coaching is, because when you are trying to figure out, how do I grow my business? How do I make it do what it needs to, what I know it can do? I feel in my heart. And it's so much you need to know. You don't know who to listen to. You don't know what to do. You don't know what to say. And so I just want you to know you're not alone. Like, we can have a conversation, we can figure it out, we can get you organized, we can get you moving forward. And y'all, it doesn't take a lot. It just takes somebody on the outside looking in. It's like we can't see our own backside, right? No matter how much I turn, it's hard for me to see my back. And so you're in the middle of it. It's so hard to kind of see your business and see what you're doing and see. And so you just kind of have to keep going and going and going and going. And so when you have somebody just have because this just actually happened with my cousin. Hey, cousin. Is we had a conversation and I went into coaching mode with her. Okay, what were your 3 top money makers of 2023? This and that. Okay. So if we were going to make more money with those 3 alone, just your 3 top money makers, then what would you need to do? Okay, well, I would need to, she does like internet stuff. So she was like, okay, I would need to post more. Okay, exactly. How much more do you need to post? Well, I need to post daily. Okay, so what is it going to take for you to do that? This, and that. How much time does that take? This, and that. Go ahead and put that in your calendar. And then we did all 3. It was an hour conversation, and she walked away feeling so focused and energized and excited for 2024 because she now had a plan of action. And so that's the power of coaching. You don't feel alone. You have a plan of action. Okay, I'm gonna turn it back to you. So what's your thing?
Okay. So I am absolutely obsessed with women becoming aware of and conscious of how they see themselves, how they feel about themselves, and how they value themselves. Okay. In order to create the identity shift, to create the life they want.
Yeah.
I realize with working with women from all walks of life.
Yeah.
Women don't see themselves.
No, they don't.
They don't feel themselves. They're numb.
They don't.
And they don't value themselves.
Yeah. It's that hamster wheel. They're just running, trying to keep up, trying to get everything done yesterday. And and so there's no time for any of that.
Yeah. But there has to be an identity shift.
Yeah.
And when you are in a space where you realize that, there's some change that has to happen.
Yeah.
In order for me to move from whatever space I'm in, and I'm talking about women from, CEOs to millionaires, still dealing in the same, how they see themselves, feel about themselves, and value themselves.
Yeah.
Because example, you can have a multi-million dollar maker who doesn't value herself and finds herself in negative relationships. And it's like, that's a self-worth thing.
Yep. Oh,
so but people, girl, how you see yourself, how you value yourself. So, and why are you continuing to attract these types of relationships in business, friendship, and
Yeah.
love.
Yeah.
You know, because it goes across the board. And for me, I really am obsessed with you identifying why do I see myself like this? Why do I feel this way about myself? And why do I value myself like this? Like, and being the one that will help you call it out. Like, that's something I love that I've been able to transition to, because, you know, people used to call me, oh, you're so sweet, you don't speak up for yourself, blah, blah, blah. I've never been that person, really. People just assumed that I was. They assumed I was because I'm an observer and I don't do confrontation. You know, I speak up when needed. And a lot of people, you know, they like confrontation. Oh, you need to speak up and say something. Well, I don't. You can.
Right.
That doesn't bother me like it bothers you. So I don't need to.
Part. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not easily offended.
Yeah.
I'm good. So, you know, people, oh, you're a punk, why you didn't say nothing, blah, 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 blah.
Ooh, let me give you some new
absurd.
terminology, because I think this is what you do. So I just want to give you these words. You don't call people out, but you do call people in. And so you're much more of a, come here, sis. Come in. Let's come on.
I like that.
We got to get you right. We got to get you right on this. We got to get you right.
Yeah.
Because I can't leave you out there operating like that.
A big deal.
Yeah.
I want you to see how you really see yourself, because I'm gonna tell you how I see you and how, let's work on this.
Yeah.
Let's work on this together. You know, I'm your advocate in that space. I'm an advocate for you and all of you.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, that
was good. That's so good. That's so good. That's so good. Oh my gosh. Okay.
Yeah, that was good. What you just gave me. I don't call people out. I call people in, baby. That's about to be. Yeah. You know,
because calling you out is confrontational, but calling you in is that really kind of, I care for you. Let me help you. Let's get this together, which is, y'all, the name of the podcast is us getting it together with that. And so, okay, with that, I'm going to run, because I got a 10 o'clock and I want to take 5 minutes to breathe. But Happy New Year. I'm looking forward to it.
I love this new time.
I do too, because I can be awake and aware and fresh. Y'all see my little background? I'm all in my basement and everything, and I'm loving that. Because I'm 100% virtual now, working from home. So, all right. So next time, Cherise, you bring in the topic. I'm so excited, and you can take in the lead next week. And I'll see you then, my dear.
All right. Have a good one.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.